Hi guys, and welcome back from Carly at the Herbathicary. Really good to see you guys again. If you're new to the channel or like the videos, please show your support by hitting like and subscribe down below. So a quick disclaimer, this video is for entertainment purposes only. I am not a doctor or an ethnobotanist. I own a lot of good guidebooks and have been doing this for a while. So please always do your own thorough research first. Don't pick anything unless you're 100% sure of what it is. Check with a book, check with the internet, check with an experienced forager that might know more than you. Always make sure you've got the landowner's permission before you pick anything. Avoid areas of high pollution where they might have used pesticides, and pick as high as you can to avoid where animals might have sprayed. Do not pick endangered species. Please always make sure that you only take as much as you need. Leave some for the creepy crawlies and the birds. And it is advisable to leave your foraged finds outside for at least half an hour in a cool place so that any of those creepy crawlies can find a new home. And always thoroughly wash your findings before you use them. As many of you who've seen my videos know, I have been a lifelong sufferer of postnasal drip, as gross as that is, sorry. But last year I developed a really irritating cough. Obviously I did what everyone did and, did the COVID test, and when that came back all clear, as well as my lung x-ray came back clear, they put me through a barrage of testing. I was diagnosed with asthma, a horrendous pollen and house dust allergy, and most recently, in the last couple of months, something called GERD, which is gastroesophageal reflux disease, and the eventuality of that, if it continues, is apparently esophageal cancer, which doesn't sound fun at all. But considering, despite this, I still can't help but hang out in the trees and with the plants. So I put up with the teary eyes, the cough, the sneezes, and the really, really phlegmy chest. Sorry to be gross. But as always, nature answered my call, and hiding in my garden, I found this beautiful mullein growing. It's growing out of a concrete block. It's really random. There's 2 plants in there. I also have another one by my gate. Now, it is better to use fresh mullein for a tincture, but these were starting to die back, so I harvested some of the leaves, used some fresh, and dried some more out. And today we will be using those dried leaves to make a tincture. Not only is mullein an antibacterial, antiviral, anti-carcinogenic, it is an extremely powerful expectorant, which means it helps you expel that mucus, which is great. It's also a demulcent, which helps coat the mucous membranes, which will be inflamed and sore from the coughing. We're actually going to add some thyme today because that is a bacterial or antibacterial and an antifungal, but it also helps relieve that sore, raspy cough. So all I need is a mason jar with a tightly fitting lid, my mullein leaves, there's 6 dried here, and as I said, we're going to be adding some thyme today. That's just fresh thyme from my garden. Luckily that hasn't died back yet. And I am going to be breaking my leaves up, as that increases the surface area for whatever we're using to extract the benefits with. I've got some of this vodka that we distilled in January this year. It was just a cheap 37.5% bottle of Glen's that we bought, a huge one. I think it was like 2 liters or 3 liters, and we ended up with about 500 mils of 85% vodka after running it through my still a few times. So I said, I'm just going to break these leaves up as small as possible to increase the amount of space that the vodka can extract those, active properties out of, active chemicals. And I'm going to be layering it with the thyme. This isn't necessary because we will be shaking it once a day for the next 8 weeks at least. But I find if I layer it and then have one layer of mullein at the top, it does help keep everything under the vodka or the alcohol that you're using better. Now I only have about 200 mils-ish of that distilled 85% proof. I couldn't manage to get anything stronger around here. I don't actually know if you can, because I looked everywhere and the best I could get was like a 65%, but that was a really, really expensive bottle of vodka. So my jar takes 300 mils, so I want to pack it down about just under 2/3 of the way so that I can ensure that I have enough vodka to cover all that plant matter. So that's all I'm doing now. So I'm just going to top it up with the vodka and make sure everything's covered. I'll pop my lid on and give it a good shake to make sure that, again, everything's covered and everything is incorporated. And then we're just going to, oh, that lid's really tight. We're just going to pop it down again, keeping everything as suspended under the vodka as possible will help prevent or limit any molding, but you obviously don't want any molding. Then, as always, we're going to label and date. And then I'm going to pop this in my pantry for a minimum of 8 weeks. If you can let it go longer before straining, but we are going to give it a good shake every day. Now, you do want it to be in a dark area, so I'm just going to cover mine with a tea towel, because even though my pantry is dark, we often open the door and turn the lights on, and I don't want it exposed. Once we've strained out all the plant matter, and we will do it through a cheesecloth so we don't get any of those little hairs from the mullein, I'm going to pop it in one of these little dropper bottles. And the dosage for your tincture does vary on whether you use dried plant material or fresh plant material, whether or not you did a 1-to-1 ratio like I'm basically doing, or a 1 plant matter to 2 parts vodka ratio. That would be less concentrated, so you might use more of that. But I have about 5 drops a day. Again, thank you guys for coming back to the Apothecary. It was great to see you again. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe, and hopefully I'll see you guys again soon. Bye.